Hello, this is My Night Get Nuked. I'm thirsty. Down there. For fuck's sake, I will remember the mimering one day. Oh, my players. Over there is the name of the show. My Night Get Nuked, you see. There is the name of the campaign. The Long Road Home. And there is the subtitle of the prologue chapter we're currently playing. Scum. And that's pretty much everything anyone who's ever watched anything we've done before ever needs to know. But for the rest of you, not that there are any of the rest of you, but who knows? There might be one day. You know, this might end up on, some kind of tube to you. So, we shall have the rules for chat, which someone else shall supply, because I'm blathering and I can't think.
Don't be a tool about someone's gender. Don't be a tool about someone's race. Don't be a tool.
Or a screwdriver.
Excellent. So, it's taken nearly 2 years. I've got other people to do it for me now. It's great. Oh, this must be what having a tiny modicum of, competency around you must be like. So, we will be rejoining our horrific scum in the hills outside of Waterville, in the desolation. Prophet Bob and Heinz and Blossom have been wandering the roads and the roadsides, gathering up gunk and scummy objects and scavenged pieces of rubbish in order to sell, and apparently also communing with Jesus. So yes. So that's what they've been doing. But let's find out a little more about them. So, Kit, who are you playing? Tell us something miscellaneous about them.
I am playing Prophet Bob, his most holy.
He changed his epithet again. Gosh.
Well, yeah.
Fair enough.
He found his bike squeaker several years ago when he found it after someone refused to bow down before the greatness that was Jesus. And she started crying to her mommy. And
so he liberated it from an unbeliever.
Yes.
Just a preteen unbeliever who possibly was about 4 foot tall.
Possibly.
Oh, lovely. So there we are then. You now know the mythical origins of Squeaker, Prophet Bob's bike, taken from a 14-year-old non-believer who was crying for their mummy. In case you were in any doubt that Prophet Bob was a wonderful person.
He is a wonderful person.
He's
a wonderful disciple of Jesus.
Yeah.
We'll leave everyone else to determine whether that makes him a wonderful person.
Yeah.
He's just living by the tenets of Jesus.
Fair enough. And there. Whether or not those are good tenets or not, we'll leave to wiser heads to discuss. But there we are. So, we've covered Prophet Bob. I don't know. What colour are Prophet Bob's socks?
He doesn't have any.
Excellent.
He just wears loafers.
Oh, lovely. I threw up in my mouth a little, but fine. So, sockless loafers. It's a look.
Crocs.
Oh, no, they're not Crocs.
No.
Oh, God, no.
Crocs.
No, that's just wrong. And you're wrong for saying it. And no. I don't know what's happening with my camera at the moment. It's being a bit silly with brightness, which is odd. It does well, and then I move it, and it readjusts to be wrong.
Stop radiating.
I'm not sure why this is happening. But yeah, there we are. So, we've done that. Prophet Bob, we know everything we need to know about Prophet Bob. We know that he's not wearing socks. We know that he stole his bike from a 14-year-old girl. He worships the frog god Jesus. He likes to enter an altered state of mind to commune with, his froggy holiness. So, Blossom. Which tell us more about Blossom. Go ahead.
Well, she's a rotter. She likes tech. She has a t-shirt on that may not have a brown traveller on it. For those who know what that is. And big, clumpy, steel-toed boots that she uses to kick through the rubbish. And she has pink socks on.
Excellent.
And we found out last time that she doesn't wear underwear.
She does not wear underwear.
No.
But if she did, you did say that it would have been pink.
Yes.
So
she would match.
So yeah. So was she wearing underwear, it would match her socks.
Yes, but she doesn't wear underwear.
No. In the grand tradition. So there we are. We have Blossom, the scavenger, with plenty of common sense and no pants and pink socks. So now we shall move on. So Heinz, what can we find about Heinz? What can we plunge into about Heinz's characterization here?
Well, Heinz is very fastidious and caring about his appearance and his looks, which is unfortunate because he's rotting away. However, he's found a cunning way of getting around this by basically using other people's unblemished flesh as a mask for his own, under lovely drapes of fine clothing. So he's part tailor, part plastic surgeon, part full surgeon.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Yeah. But basically, he's recently lost a finger, so he's going to have to look for a spare one on any willing donors that we come across. If not, he's just going to have to make himself a fine prosthetic, which again might require some donor action.
Excellent. And now I shall leave the next stage up to young Spanners. Do you want to introduce your character? Or do you want to surprise us?
Let's introduce her.
Okay.
So there's nothing. I shall hold back a couple of bits. She has the official name of Saoirse. That was the name given to her. She is a 3rd gen post-gen, which means that she is sort of a genetically modified, what was soldier, now is just sort of big brute. But with 3rd generation, has progressively got less intelligent. So the 1st generation weren't particularly intelligent anyway, but now 3rd generation, they require a carer. And her carer is in the form of skuzzl, the magpie.
So altogether a healthy and supportive environment.
Yes.
So what effects has have skuzzl's care had?
So she has to kind of look after herself. She has a bag that she was left from the people who were looking after her before, but she has a definite lack of love. So therefore has developed ways to make herself feel better through hugging, through personal contact, through making herself feel good, which of course releases dopamine, and that created a chemical reliance. So basically, unless she gets her hit of either being hugged or made happy, then stop giggling. Then she doesn't do so well.
Okay. So yes, we shall have to find we shall have to see where we can find Saoirse in the desolation. Because currently, as stated, we're standing by the side of an old road. So, those of you who were here last time may recall that our intrepid bunch of scavengers had witnessed an attack on a caravan last night in the night, and had smashed off downhill on the front of Squealer, Squeaker. Squealer? What the hell is that? Yeah, Squeaker. And two of them had immediately fallen off and hurt themselves quite badly. At which point Prophet Bob had rushed off to save the souls of those who might have been injured and possibly pocket the best goodies, and left them to deal with their own misfortunes. So, in the wreckage of the caravan, they had found a box inscribed with the letters DVEIL, which they had opened and found lots of broken glass, 3 intact vials of blue fluid with something faintly curved and rectangular with lots of little tendrils hanging off it inside, and 3 fabric gloves for the left hand. And I believe Blossom and Heinz had put on the gloves and each put one of the things in the vials in one of their eyes. And Blossom put it in her left eye and Heinz put it in his right.
Yep.
Just to be really convenient. And not that I'd have to, keep track of that at all.
Blossom also has a glove on.
Yeah. I think you both have the gloves, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. At which point, I believe Bob had got a little overawed by the whole situation.
Freaked out.
Frogged out.
And frogged out. And fallen face down in the ashes, frothing gently.
I think I rolled him into the recovery position.
Yeah, I believe he was bleeding from the eyes and nose.
Yeah. I thought the best thing to do was to roll him slightly into his side so he didn't choke its own excretions.
Yeah. So yes, this is where you find yourselves. You're standing in the ashes. You've received, something that looks pretty flashy. It doesn't look to be common or anything you've seen before. So what are you guys going to do now?
I think we could probably sell this for an awful lot of money.
Okay.
The glove and the ocular implant.
What glove and ocular implant?
I hold the glove and the ocular implant. These ones, the ones that we haven't inserted into anyone's eye yet.
Yeah, no, I need those for backup.
What, in case your eye falls out?
Yeah. And? Look, I like tech.
Yeah, but don't you like money too?
I prefer tech.
Can you tell us anything more about this? I'll pass them over to you.
It's tech. I'll stick it in my backpack.
Do you know where these people would have been coming or where they're going? If there's more of it around.
No, it's just tech.
It is exceedingly rare tech.
Yeah.
This is not something you would have seen before.
Yeah, in a few decades I've never seen tech I've heard of tech like this, but I've never seen tech like this.
Oh, I've definitely heard rumours about this tech, but yeah, not seen it.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. So yeah, as you stand there sort of discussing this, you both realise that, the eye in which you've placed this thing, it's now definitely your stronger eye. I think Heinz realised this earlier, but now it's quite clear to both of you. With your eye open or closed, you notice that in the extreme lower right-hand side of your vision, there is this little white row. It's just this little tiny white line, sort of, like a floater. Whenever you try and look at it, it just stays in the bottom corner. It's you get the impression it might be text, or it might just be a mark on the thing you've put in your eye. It might even just be an indicator to remind you it's there. Who knows?
Am I able to interact with it using my glove?
I was just thinking the same thing.
How do you want to try and interact with the thing you've put in your eye with the glove on your left hand?
Well, I can see this little white thing at the bottom of my vision. So like looking straight ahead, I kind of reach out with my left eye and kind of put and touch the spot where I can see like the thing to see if I can move it around with the tech glove. If the two interact with each other.
Okay, so you're going to attempt to grab the thing.
Yeah.
Okay. No. You reach out. You can see the tiny white line on the back of your hand. Sort of gesture a bit, and you look like just about everyone who's ever played with augmented reality or a VR headset.
Yeah.
Just grasping blindly at things. It kind of. Are you watching this with interest, Blossom, or are you just, continuing to dig through the ashes? Are you gonna?
I'm watching this, definitely watching this, because I'm trying to work out what's going on as well.
Okay, yeah. You watch him sort of, grasping at the air and flailing around like a madman. Yeah, he just looks like a prat. Yeah, nothing seems to be happening. Yeah, it's just someone reaching for something invisible over and over. It kind of reminds you of Bob. When he's absolutely convinced that Marcus has got away, but he's sitting comfortably in his jar. One of the times where he wakes up in the night and starts screaming the name of Jesus and flailing wildly. Or Mother. Depends what kind of night it is. So yeah, But yeah, it quickly becomes obvious. Heinz, yeah, this is not working.
Are there any controls on the glove?
The glove has a port on the back, just up from the wrist, so here.
Yeah.
It's almost circular, but it doesn't have inherently any controls on it, really.
Okay.
I think we said it had a little light on the wrist.
Yeah.
But just a little telltale.
I'm just going to shrug and continue to look to see if there's anything else in the remains of this cart.
Okay. Yeah. As you dig around in the bottom of the cart, so you find the burned bottoms of boxes, broken glass, bits of old twisted burnt up metal. It looks like most of the rest of what the cart was carrying was just regular shit. It might have even been that this stuff was piled around this box. None of it seems to be of any particular value or import.
We'll like to disguise it so that no one who raided the thing will notice it.
Conceivably.
So I guess if this thing was carrying a small amount of incredibly valuable tech, it could mean that wherever it was going has more, or where it came from has more. So it might be worth either scoping out the area, seeing if anyone else passes through, and possibly acquiring their tech, or seeing if we can go ahead and find wherever they were taking this, or follow the trail back and see if we can find out where it came from.
Or we could... Wasn't there a trail, obvious trail, where these people had been taken? Because we didn't find any bodies, did we?
No,
you found drag marks.
Disappear.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they took the people because they had more tech on them.
True.
And they're likely to be closer.
Okay. Should we see if we can wake up the prophet?
If we have to.
It's probably better than keep him laying here.
Yeah, I suppose.
It would be worth mentioning before you go careering off following these tracks. There are clearly other carts that have got away.
Oh, and carried on up the road?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
In that case, it's probably more worth going after the carts because,
Absolutely.
have boxes like this in them.
Yeah, let's go after the carts.
Okay.
I will recap because,
Gently.
it's been a while. There were blood stains, but no bodies. There were 2 different colours of blood. There were drag marks that ended without bodies. And lots of footprints all over the place.
Ah, yeah.
But there's also a road, so anyone who continued off up the road wouldn't necessarily have left like obvious boot prints.
Yeah.
Okay. Can I attempt to awaken the prophet?
I was just going to kick him gently.
Okay.
Okay, you do that first. If that doesn't work, I'll try something more technical.
Okay.
Gentle kick in the ribs, just to wake him up.
What do you want to attempt this as?
Strings
Unarmed.
medicine. Bang.
You know, is this bush knowledge medic? Is this just frustration?
Intimidation.
Yeah, it could be. You know, there's a lot of difference between a gentle nudge with the foot, come on, and a full-on boot to the face.
Yeah, it's more of a
Boot to the face.
slightly annoyed, exasperated. For fuck's sake, get up and stop messing about with frogs.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not going to make you roll anything on that one. You just give him a kick. So yeah, Kit, if you can give me another resistance poison, endurance poison. So you're gonna.
That's an 11 on the die.
Okay. Yeah, you like. You apply the boot to him, and like you accidentally catch him in the throat, rather than like kicking him in the shoulder. And actually, he just like kicks up coughs up like a thick like wad of like bloody matter. So yeah, I want you to roll like your standard hand-to-hand unarmed damage against him. Yeah, it looks like he might have bitten his tongue, and just like coughed up a bunch of phlegm.
What's unarmed damage again? Which dice?
It's just D4.
D4. One problem with these dice, I can't see them against my roll tray. That's a 2.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah. Yeah, Bob is now conscious.
Oh, it works.
It
Better out
hurts.
than in.
Like, yeah, you're not having a great day. You're not like all the way awake. You're
Ogre people, devil people, everywhere. No.
Oh, shut up and get up.
Can you stand?
Of course I can stand, you tainted one.
I'll step back and see if he can actually get to his feet.
I slowly just crawl to my feet.
You crawl over to Squeaker. You use Squeaker to stand up. You feel safer leaning on your bike.
I have Squeaker just like in between me and them.
Yeah.
I was going to put you in the basket at the front if you can stand up, but you seem to have made it on your own, so you're right.
You've got like a big old bruise like forming on your neck. Probably a little more hoarse than you probably would have been before. But yeah, so you're on a stretch of road that goes from the town of Waterville up to Pete's, which is a hostelry, so on a crossroads of like major like merchant pathways. So there's nothing uncommon about caravans going this way, but they don't tend to do it at night, for reasons that are now immediately apparent. People like you and people like whoever did this are here.
Dragons.
Maybe. So yeah, there you are. Where are you going? You going to head north towards Pete's, where the caravan was going, or are you going to go south to Waterville, where they recently asked you to leave and caused you to have to sleep in the hills last night?
Pete's. Definitely Pete's.
Yeah.
St. Pete's.
Okay, then.
It's almost worth the prophet cycling off ahead to see if he can actually spot anything useful, because he can go a lot quicker than we can on foot. The last time we tried all bundling up together, it didn't work very well.
Mm.
So I guess the road is actually a lot leveler and flatter here.
Yeah.
I'm not getting back on that thing.
Oh, then.
Not with the state he's in.
It's a fair point. In that case, Prophet Bob, would you be willing to go ahead and see if you can catch up these caravans that disappeared in the night?
Anything to get away from you.
Okay, can we get an endurance physical for Bob? Because he's had a bad day, and like he had a bad night and a pretty shitty morning.
It's gone down.
He's been kicked in the throat, and now he's been expected to like ride Outrider. You've passed out twice in the last 12 hours, and you've been kicked in the throat hard enough to make your face bleed. So yeah, can you actually ride your bike right now?
That's a 7.
You can mount your bike. This might be like one of those like things where the kids, where you can't quite pedal, you can like kick it along. You're going faster than walking, but you're not like smashing it off like you did earlier. Yeah, you could start to make a bit of time on these guys, but yeah, they can see you, and you're not you're not holding very stable.
I feel like I'm just gonna fall off into a ditch.
They might too.
As we're walking forward, I'll whisper to Blossom and go, at least if they come back, they'll attack him first.
That's true. I like that idea.
So cool.
And we just follow along, kind of like keeping a little bit of a distance behind him, like waiting to see if he actually does go off and be useful.
Yeah.
Or crash into a ditch, one of the two.
I say, Bob isn't making a great amount of time on you guys. He's staying, he's shouting distance away and seems to be staying that way. But yeah, you're going to make your way off north. So you can do that for the most of the day, and nothing really, occurs really. A caravan passes you coming the other way.
If we've got a caravan coming past, I'll stop I'll say hello to them as they go past. So like, hey, how's the road looking up ahead?
The guy riding like the first like wagon just kind of looks at you like you've fallen from the sky. He's just like, it's fine. You can see it. Like, it hasn't rained. It's I mean, you don't look like this is the first time you've come along this way. Find anything? I mean, you look the type.
Well, there was I think there was some trouble back there. It looks like there was a burnt caravan as we walked past. Didn't know if there was something that was going on up the road.
Oh, well, not that we saw. I mean, passed a caravan this morning, but they seem to be in a bit of a hurry. But if you're going to travel through the night, you go quick, don't you? So, yeah, I mean, you didn't see anyone around, did you?
No, nothing. No bodies, nothing. Just burnt out remains. It's
Didn't take anything we could sell on, did you?
Hang on a second. I need to actually. I did pick something up. I can't remember what it was.
I did.
What did I pick up?
I pull out my broken indicator bulb.
Whoa! Calm down!
That's about the height of what we found.
Ah, well. Hey. Yeah. So, may I?
I hand it up, but I don't let go.
Yeah,
I'm also keeping my left hand in my pocket.
okay. Good move. Yeah, he's done this sort of holding. You're holding it. He holds it also. And look, it's like, well, were that hole I could probably select the tech pervs for. Ooh. Oh no, couple attack, but in that state, tell you what, I'll take it off your hands for half.
No, I'm more interested in other tech. I've got a couple of those in my collection. Need something new.
Fair enough. Well, if there's nothing else, we'll be getting on. Like I say, you don't know if Mike's down in Waterville, if they're doing the pies again, do you?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh fuck. Okay, well, we'll make sure we don't go there. Anyway, thanks a lot. Yeah. He whips his team of trained weasel dogs, and they start pulling the wagon along again. So yeah, a little caravan. There's like 2 or 3 little wagons. Most of them are pulled by large dogs, or moderately sized weasel-like creatures. It might be some sort of thin dog. It might be some kind of large weasel. You're not really sure. So yeah, but they start beating off to the south. That was a terrible phrasing. So yeah, in the distance you can see the gathering of trees that is around the immediate area of Pete's. It'll probably be another few hours on the road before you get there. But you'll be able to see if anything terrible happens to it in the night. It's coming into sort of late afternoon, early evening. You can travel through the night if you want.
So, if we travelled on to Pete's, how long would it take us to get there?
Maybe sort of 3-4 hours. I mean, you'd arrive sort of well after dark.
Yeah. Actually, considering the state we're in, I lost a finger today, and so the Prophet Bob has passed out 2 or 3 times and is barely staying on his push bike. Probably want to stop and actually have a rest. Can we say are these trees on a rise that we can see from around the road?
The trees are actually in sort of a depression, which is why they were sort of sheltered, which is why you can grow trees there. But you can obviously you can see them from some distance away because they're pretty much the only intact trees in the area. I mean, most of the vegetation around here is sort of scrubby and short.
Okay. Is there any kind of safe area we could set a camp up around here that we can see?
In the trees.
If you really want to beat it down the road for many hours and then pitch camp in the garden of a pub that has rooms, you can.
Listen, he's not very smart.
He might have been once.
Anywhere around about that we can camp that's relatively safe? And
I say you're in a valley, so you can camp down here next to the road. There's plenty of scrub to gather together for a fire, or you could climb halfway back up the hill like you did last night, or you could try and find a little depression somewhere to hop into. You might luck out and find another animal den.
grab some scrub.
Is it raining at the moment?
It's not raining right now, no.
Does it look like it's going to rain?
I'll give you the answer I always give people. It's Britain. It's always going to rain.
Does it look like it's going to rain anytime soon?
It doesn't look like it's immediately going to start. There are clouds around. There's a fair bit of wind. Not so much that you batter you around or anything, but enough that you can feel it. There might be some, some rain clouds might blow in overnight, but you can't see anything from where you are.
Okay.
I think just set up by the side of the road here. I mean, we're all a bit knackered to be clambering up and down the slope trying to carry brush around. So,
Yeah, but we know there are bandits or something about.
Dragon. Dead set on this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Prophet Bob, do you fancy dragging some wood up the hill?
Not for you.
How about for you?
Yes, for myself I will.
Okay. In that case, yeah, let's grab some scrub and drag it up halfway up the hill so we're a little bit away from the road.
Okay, yeah. Right. I want either Heinz or Blossom to give me a knowledge. You're looking for a decent place to camp down. I imagine Prophet Bob just like sleeps where he falls. So it's not so much of a concern finding a good place to sleep for him.
That's a 7.
Yeah. Heinz.
I was just going to follow her.
Okay.
I'm not a particularly outdoorsy type, so I'll just follow someone else.
Fair enough. Yeah, you wander a little way off the road, sort of up one of the smaller hills that sort of border the street, border the sort of the wide road, and you come to like a little river, like, more of a stream maybe, and you follow it. You follow it a little ways. You know, it's always best to try and find it closer to the source if you can. Further away from the road where people have dumped things in it. And just about the time you start to think, this seems pretty nice. The scrub starts to look a little more alive. There are some small trees. There's clear sort of traces of there are animals around. Which you discover when you step in some shit. You find another sort of a little clearing, a little bit of sort of scrubby woodland, the kind of thing that kids would set up a den in the modern world. It's covered in brambles on the outside, but it's pretty much hollow inside. And from it you can see there's a little bit of smoke, and there is a small fire going.
Can we see any people? Or can we hear any people?
Well, it depends. What's Saoirse doing with her little fire?
She's cooking.
Okay. What's Saoirse cooking?
So she has some sticks. And the thing that is currently skewered on a stick once had fur and appears to have 2 heads.
Okay. So yes, you can see how big is Saoirse?
So she's not very big for a post jump. She was she was sent away from the rest of them because she was seen as sort of almost like the run to the litter. So she's probably around 7 foot.
Okay. Yeah, you can. So yeah, Heinz, as you get nominated to investigate the bush, Blossom has found the bush. You can now investigate.
Cool.
I don't know how pointed she is about this, but you did sort
Very.
of kick Prophet Bob in the throat earlier, so.
Yeah. I'll kind of like.
Accidentally.
I'll kind of like fastidiously kind of duck down. I'm not going to get down on my knees because it's dirty, but I'm going to kind of like duck down and kind of shuffle forward a little bit, so you can kind of like until I can hear and see who's in the depression.
I say as you you shuffle along. You see a large shadow, like silhouetted against the little fire. It's a fairly large and imposing figure. That seems to be mumbling to themselves. And you can smell roasting meat. Well, not roasting, more sort of burning. Cooking. It probably smells quite nice. It's only a day out from town, but it's never too early to feel hungry for a good home-cooked meal. So what sort you doing in the meantime? While she's cooking, is she humming? Is she mumbling? Is she singing? Is she, eating the other ones?
She appears to be talking. And she's having like a full, what for her would be a conversation. So she said, I'm doing it. Whatever. Oh, just stop talking to me. Leave me alone. I'm getting on with it. Look, it's cooking. It's not done yet. And then she picks off some of the like slightly charred fur and just kind of throws it behind her.
Right. Sure. Give me a D12 roll. It's you. Throw something nonchalantly behind yourself.
5.
5. Okay, yeah. Heinz, this little scrap of sort of charring fur flies past you, and lands in the bush somewhere.
Duh.
Yeah. And something flutters past you and goes and grabs it. It's dark. This thing is fairly sort of shadowy. There's a definite impression of wings.
I'm probably at this point going to jump up and like flap my hands around my face and like back away towards everyone else, because clearly, like, whoever's here has just ordered their their strange kind of like familiar to attack me.
Unintended falconry.
Stagger back.
Okay. Yes. So yeah, Blossom and Bob, you've just seen Heinz stumble backwards out of the bush, waving his hands in front of his face. You've heard like a and something's like shot out of the bush, flapping wings, and rustled its way back in. What are you guys doing?
I pull my cross off of my bike, and I brandish it forward and start to walk forward into the clearing.
Excellent.
I pull my
Oh,
gun, which is named Delilah.
Delilah.
Why?
Start creeping towards this bush, ready to shoot whatever moves.
Okay.
Except me, I'm moving.
I'll step over behind Blossom because it seems like the sensible place to be, and whisper to her that, like, watch out, whoever's in there's really big. Let Prophet Bob go first.
I just nod.
Okay, I'm gonna need sneaks from Heinz and Blossom.
Can I just say that as I just stepped back, that I voluntarily failed?
Oh no, I meant for how quietly you managed to talk to Blossom.
Okay.
There's no question that you've made noise. It's a question of how quietly you managed to speak.
That's a 7.
Jeez.
I'm going to use a different die because that one
It might
keeps
be for the
rolling
best.
4s.
11.
Oh, Jesus. A natural 11.
No.
Okay.
An unnatural 11.
Okay, cool, fine.
Otherwise, I would have said.
Be quiet.
Okay. Saoirse, as far as you're concerned, someone behind you's gone, "Ah!" What are you doing?
So I would assume, because that's the direction that Cecil went in, that somebody's caught Cecil. He's not come back.
Hmm.
So I am going to pick up my roasted skuzzl on its stick, it's still burning, and my hunting knife in the other hand, and go
Sorry,
toward.
are we talking hunting knife?
Or are we talking hunting knife?
Ah, excellent.
Yeah, and then kind of walk towards the noise.
Okay.
Shouting his name. Cecil!
Okay. Searcher and Bob, you are confronted with each other. Bob, you are confronted with a 7-foot woman holding a burning animal and a large knife, screaming Cecil.
These two are
Searcher, you are confronted by a raggedy-looking man with big bags under his eyes, waving a cross.
So she's gonna kind of look down at him. Take in.
Not that far. I am only 6 foot. I'm 6'6".
Okay, so not that far then. So just looking slightly down.
Yeah.
And oh, hello.
Oh there. Have you heard the word of Jesus?
The who now?
The word of the almighty croaker Jesus.
What? Are you okay? Can I help you? Are you lost? Have you got a Cecil too?
My child, let me bring you into his bosom and give you the good word.
And I'm small, but I'm not a child. I'm quite big, you know. I've been doing some cooking. Do you want to come and see?
My dear, I would love to. I would love to bless your meal.
So she's going to link arms with Prophet Bob and kind of like bodily drag him by his elbow over to her campfire.
Excellent. Yes. At this point, Cecil bursts back out of the bushes, like, lands on Bob's head, and says, "Love to!" Because I seem to recall that magpies can mimic things quite well.
Can now.
Yeah. But I don't want to do one of those like horrible, obvious bird voices too much because it will be inconsistent. So yeah, love to. He doesn't mimic things at all.
Have I got a really posh magpie?
Yeah, you've just got a posh magpie. That's why it's called Cecil. So yes.
I look to Heinz and go, well, that went better than I expected.
Yeah, I wondered if he might end up coming back in pieces, but yeah. We go in.
Yeah, that's without surprising anyone or making anyone jump so that they hit us with that, well, in her hand, knife.
Yeah, I'll slip my bone saw back into my clothing. And
I put Delilah away.
Okay.
within somewhere that I could grasp it again, very quickly if the need arises, but somewhere so it's not apparently obvious that I'm walking in there with a gigantic bone saw.
You're very quiet all of a sudden, Tech.
Is that a bone saw in your pocket?
Yes. Oh, Christ.
Sounds alright?
You're still pretty quiet. God knows how. It's not your natural state.
No. Does that make any difference?
Not at all.
Just say make sure my automated volume control has not just randomly muted me.
Right. Sorry, folks. The perils of live gaming. But yes. I just have to deal with.
While they're doing stuff in the bushes,
Yep.
I think so she's going to kind of try and introduce herself. First of all, by ripping off one of the skuzzl's heads and passing it to Prophet Bob.
Hopefully that's that better.
Exactly the same, mate.
He'll take it and then just be like, "Oh, Jesus, bless this meal we're about to have in your croakiness, and may we receive it unto our bodies in its gooey fashion. Amen."
Oh, croaky, does that mean you like frogs then?
Well, His Holiness is the Lord of Frogs.
Well, I like them. If you hold them and you squeeze them, they make an excellent sound. They're like squeaky toys. Cecil likes them.
Sorry,
Marcus
cat
hides. Marcus digs to the bottom of his jaw.
And she takes a decent sized bite of skuzzl.
Is that still
That's nice and loud.
okay? Cool.
Cool. So yes, do you all come out of the bushes? Do you all join the meal now that there's been a blessing? There's been an offer of hospitality. You all joining?
Yeah, we've. I've put my bone saw away, and
I let Heinz go first.
damn, I was gonna let you go first. But,
Okay. Right. So yeah, you all come forth into the light. You stand there like, there are others. There are plenty of others.
So she's gonna get like, wait, hello, ooh, you look hungry too. Do you want some skuzzl? I'll put another one on. And takes from her bag a small wriggling thing, and then just sticks a skewer through it, and it sort of goes, and then sticks it over the top of the fire.
excellent.
Oh god.
Fresh.
Right. I want you to roll a d6 for limbs. How many limbs does this skuzzl have?
6, please. Aw.
3. Okay, yeah. Clearly you caught this one because it was unfortunate. Yeah, So yeah, so you have your the two-headed skuzzl on a spit. Well, it's now one-headed, and another more regular one-headed skuzzl with 3 limbs. It's just been put on. So there we are. So are you going to embrace the spirit of this sort of hospitality and the spirit it's offered, or what are you two doing?
Yeah, I'll bet. Thank you. Sounds marvelous.
Okay. Bob, are you going to tuck into your skuzzl head?
Absolutely.
Yes. Good. So yeah, you break it open with your fingers like a delightful little treat egg, and you scoop out the gooey and delicious insides.
Like a Cadbury cream egg.
Yeah, like the Cadbury cream egg of nightmares. Thanks for naming brand names as well.
I can't ever eat one again.
You say that, but the time will come.
You're welcome.
Ruined it. What's the other company that took them over?
Yeah, maybe that one too. But yeah. So yeah, you
discuss the cream egg.
Yeah. you slurp it out like seafood. Mwah. And it's boiled in its own skull. It's hardened to perfection. It's still got that little like that je ne sais quoi of slight sliminess that makes it
goes
extra
right down the
good.
throat.
Exactly, yeah. It's really good. And for someone who's just eaten a skuzzl brain, you feel fine.
I mean, it's no worse than licking a frog's back.
Well, no. Yeah. I mean, the skuzzl probably doesn't like it as much. Give him the
Hopefully
choice.
the skuzzl is dead.
You think? Who knows? But yes, you sit there like, what bits of skuzzl do you give the others?
Once it's been on for a few minutes, I kind of hold each side of the skuzzl and just kind of pull, so they get a nice even half each.
Top and bottom or spatchcock?
Spatchcock, straight down the middle.
Oh God!
Excellent. Yeah. You. I'm not sure how well you prepared. Oh, it was alive, so you haven't prepared it at all. Yeah. You just reach in and you spatchcock this creature like with its entrails in, and they all fall in the fire. Each of you get handed a freshly spatchcocked skuzzl.
Thanks.
Saoirse, you're giving these out. Who gets 2 limbs and who gets 1?
Oh. Who arrived first? Blossom arrived first, didn't she?
Heinz came in the door first.
Okay, so Heinz gets the two limbs.
Okay then.
I'll draw out from my pocket. Draw out like a very clean, like a handkerchief, and like a brown handkerchief, and like put it around my hand when I reach out and take it from you. And then I'll draw like an eating implement out of my pocket, which might be somewhat of a sharpened spoon, and use that to pick small sections away and eat it very delicately, making sure I don't spill any on myself.
Yes. You were super quiet, and then you leaned in and were loud again.
I think my mic may have turned itself. I think it switched the input to my webcam. So I might need to turn my volume down again because I boosted my input.
Yes. Thank you, Roasty, for informing me. I was pretty sure something had gone wrong, but thank you anyway. Very good of you. So yes, you are.
Bruce watching.
Yeah. See, someone is watching. Oh shit! Now I'm all
There'll be a test at the end.
I just basically take this skuzzl and start ripping bits off and eating it after removing the remaining guts and.
Well, they will all mostly have fallen out in the fire.
Yeah, but I make sure I clean it up
Yeah.
a bit before I start eating it.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you give it like the fisherman riverside trout treatment, where you just sort of run your thumb down it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you're you empty the skuzzl and you start eating it spare rib style. Which is it's quite pleasant. I mean, it might be a little underdone for your tastes, but you're a rodder. You don't really have much of a sense of taste. It's more texture.
Yeah. That's all right.
Yeah, the texture was fine. So yeah, you all sit down. You enjoy this. Well, let's see. I won't put words into your mouth. Do you enjoy this meal?
Oh yes, it's probably the first cooked meal I've had in a while.
Okay.
Just
That he remembers.
I was gonna say because I had skuzzl last night as well, and I'm quite happy eating this skuzzl.
Yeah. Absolutely no input now, mate. None at all.
The internet has silenced you.
Nope. This is probably the longest time that tech's been silent. And also in front of an electronic device. It's a strange concurrence.
Hear anything now?
Just about.
Just about.
Very quietly.
Yeah, it's like you're whispering to me from the other side of a door.
Is that any better?
Yeah, that's a bit better.
Cool. Does that sound good?
Yeah.
I can boost it up a bit more.
Yeah, it's all progress.
Cool. That's pretty much as loud as it'll go.
That's good. That's fine.
Cool.
Is your microphone just like, committed suicide or something?
I'm not entirely sure. It's never had a problem before, but it randomly has today.
Oh, okay. Well, that's the way with electronics. They quietly go in a corner and decide to not be alive anymore.
If it suddenly becomes super loud and explodes, then someone will have to tell me, because it may suddenly randomly switch back to a different input or something.
Yeah.
But as far as I can tell, it's picking up from my snowball.
Okay, then. Right then. So yes, you're sitting there. You're eating skuzzl. Converse. You have a new accomplice here.
Oh, so new frog friend. What's your name?
I am Prophet Bob, his most holy.
Who's holy?
Why, he's of
ask.
course.
He's
Our Lord and Savior, his croaky, Lord of Frogs, blessed, the hoppiest, hopper to the stars.
You're a lord?
No.
I'm his
the frog?
prophet. I am his prophet, bringing the word, the good word to all here on this earthly plane.
Oh, so Bob is a frog. Okay. And looks sort of at the others, realizing that she might have met somebody more weird than her. In that sort of way you go, yes.
I'm done talking with you now. Seeing that you seem to be done talking to the mad prophet just as everyone else is, I'll be like, yeah, this is excellent skuzzl, thank you. Have you been here? Have you been here for a long time, like an hour or a day, or?
I've been following Saoirse, and Saoirse tells me where to go. He finds the food. We've been here since I was this big. The trees were smaller.
Okay, so you know the area fairly well then.
I know that tree and that pond, and I know lots of skuzzls. And then we eat them.
Can we see the road from here?
Not from inside this large bush, no.
Okay. But knowing the general direction, it's just like, do you watch the road? And I point down kind of to where the direction where the road would be.
I watch the birds.
Does
Is
your
there-
bird watch the road?
I don't have a bird, I only have Cecil.
Does Cecil watch the road?
Cecil
Shinies.
watches everything.
Shinies.
Yes, Cecil, shinies.
Have you seen
Want
any
the shinies,
shinies?
Cecils?
Shinies.
You do want the right. Do you want me to get the shinies?
Shinies. Yes.
Cecil wants your shinies.
Yeah, we're hoping to find some shinies that passed through here earlier today. Did you see which direction the shinies went?
You don't have any shinies?
No, they're on the caravan that passed through earlier.
Oh, you're gonna make Cecil cross. You shouldn't make Cecil cross.
Well, maybe if we went and found these shinies, Cecil would be happy.
I like it when Cecil's happy.
Shinies.
I think we should probably track down this caravan and take the shinies for Cecil then.
Cecil like
And-
flaps over and lands on Bob's cross. Shiny.
Oh, he likes your shiny.
Yes. It is the sign of his holiness.
Can you give that to Cecil and he'll put it in the bag?
I'm afraid, my child, it won't fit in your bag.
Oh, did you tell Cecil no? And she starts to look really uncomfortable.
Here.
What's the cross look like?
Oh, it's like one of those like
Wasn't it
large.
like a tire iron that's like basically being. It was like one of those
No,
big carjack things, wasn't it? That's like.
It's one of like one that you would carry down like the aisle at church, but it's made out of like a tire iron.
Oh yeah. I remember
Yeah.
that now, yeah. Anyway, I think Cecil probably like pecks at it a bit, and like the metal underneath is quite dull and horrible. He's just like, "Arr."
But he can
Flutters
have
off.
this, and I brandish one of the shell casings that I found.
Shinies. He hasn't grabs it. So, in that way that like small birds do, he just grabs it and just lands, like drops it on the ground, like picks it up, throws it a bit. Just sort of throws it end over end, like rolling it back over to Saoirse.
Yay! Cecil's happy. Your names. What are your names?
Well, I'm Blossom. That's Heinz. And you are?
I am, and then she picks up her bag because it's got her name embroidered on the front in like this really like old grubby writing. I am Saoirse. Saoirse. That's my name.
Nice to meet you. Thanks for the skuzzl. Really good job on that.
Are we going on an adventure?
In
Yep.
the morning.
Oh,
Prophet Bob isn't feeling very well.
can we make him better?
If we make sure he doesn't lick any frogs tonight, maybe.
How about a hug?
You could give him a hug. Maybe that'll help.
And
I'm willing to sacrifice Prophet Bob for the.
so she's going to up as much as like bodily hold him, and kind of move over to the area where they have been camping, where there's sort of bits of weird rag and tree sort of leaves and things that she's been sleeping on. You're sort of pinned, almost like imagine it's sort of like being held in a headlock, but a sort of a huggy headlock.
Oh, okay.
Because that's so much better.
Yeah, so much better.
Well, that'll probably stop him licking any frogs tonight anyway.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, you never know. It could have positive effects, like a deep tissue compression. Where it makes you feel safe because you're confined.
It's like being what do you do to babies?
Swaddled.
Yeah,
Swaddled.
swaddled. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure most grown men really appreciate that.
You'd be surprised. Actually,
Yeah.
you wouldn't.
I was gonna say, yeah, but Prophet Bob is clearly a quite, psychologically
Impaired?
malleable individual. Yeah, maybe being held in the embrace of a loving being, akin to the loving embrace of Jesus. You see. Or
I'd like leaning
the
across-
crushing oblivion of the dark pond. It all depends on where his trip takes him.
I was like leaning over to Blossom and be like, they seem to be keeping each other happy, so I think we should be okay to sleep tonight.
I think we should be, yeah. I quietly just move Bob's bag out of arm's reach.
He starts grasping for it.
He can't get to its frog.
Marcus? Marcus!
Not tonight. You need a decent night's sleep.
Do you have a Marcus? I've got a Cecil.
Like, these guys are perfect for each other.
Hey, maybe when this is over, they can entertain each other and we can, leave them together.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
They might prove really useful together and we'll keep them.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, I could probably write some information about, mental codependency or something. Maybe.
Oh. So yes, so begins a lovely evening and night of warm embraces and good fellowship. Near the fire, which occasionally someone has to make sure it doesn't spread because you're sitting inside a goddamn bush. But yeah, that's how you spend this night. I mean, you know that you'd be able to walk into Pete's very quickly next morning, and you've picked up a imposing new associate. So yeah, how do you guys want to spend the night? Do you keep watches? Do you just bed down? Do you try and deal with the day's injuries? Yeah. Well, you can accept it or not.
I'm just going to bed down. If it's light enough for a while, I'm going to make some notes in my book about the interactions between our new companion and Prophet Bob. Because I'd imagine I've already probably filled at least like a small book with information about how psychedelics affect like the religiously bent, like, you know.
Okay. I want you to take a take a knowledge roll. I want you to, if we're going to use these notes as a hook later, I want you to to justify them being any good.
Yeah, that was it. I rolled a 5, but I think my knowledge is pretty good. Where are we? Knowledge. It's not a 5, so that's a 10.
Okay, then, yeah. You scroll a few pages of like pretty obvious common sense stuff. Like you couch it in terms that make it seem very profound. You do that classic thing of people who just about grasp the subject that they're writing about. You use all of the big words you think apply, not necessarily in an order that makes sense.
Yeah, psychology is definitely not my forte.
Yeah. I mean, nothing you write is wrong, but most of what you write is pretty obvious. But that's the nature of observation. You write down things that are happening, even if they're very banal. So yeah, you've managed to splat some notes down. Blossom, what are you doing of the night?
I am bedding down and trying to get some sleep because I currently have like 5 levels of exposure.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I'm going to assume that as this rather large post-gen is here and has been here for what seems like a while, anything big and dangerous will have discovered her and decided to not come anywhere near here.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you have been told about this area, and you noticed it earlier when you stood in the scat earlier, is that there are clearly lots of small animals around here. I mean, Saoirse has told you that there are lots of skuzzls, and if there was something big that ate them, other than, her, there probably wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's not even any particularly large trees for them to hide in, so you're fairly sure there's nothing sort of big and terrifying apart from her.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fairly safe to just bed down and rest up. Are you going to take any efforts to, patch yourself up before, or?
Yes, I would try and sort of patch up any grazes and bruises from that tumble and try and work out what the hell is wrong with my hip.
Okay, well, you can give me a medic on that one there.
Oh, I'm not used to having such a low medic. That is an 8.
Okay.
All my new dice are bad.
I say, before you bed down for the night, you take one of those like, late night walks that people often take before they go to bed when camping. To answer those calls that only nature can place. You you do that thing that anyone who's got a bad hip does. They walk along, they sort of stomp a bit to see if that makes it go back in. They sort of hit themselves on the outer thigh, put their hand on it and press, and see if there's anything obviously wrong. Try and get their thumb like into the joint and rub it a bit. Nothing with any great skill or training, but enough enthusiasm to really hurt. And you're pretty sure that you're pretty sure that it hurts quite badly. So you've probably done some good. So yeah, you go to your leg move, your hip moves a little more freely now. Like it hurts more than it did, but your movement is sort of less hindered. And
That's an improvement as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, as long as you don't move, it doesn't hurt. But it's gone from impeded to just sore. But yeah, you bed down, and as long as you don't roll onto it, it doesn't hurt. Huzzah!
Bonus.
Yeah. Right. Saoirse, you're flopping down in your nest with a preacher.
Yes.
In a headlock.
What's Prophet Bob's hair like?
He doesn't have any.
He doesn't have any.
Take whatever you imagine a hardcore motorbike priest to look like, but on a push bike of a 14-year-old girl.
So he doesn't have any hair, but probably has quite a long beard. It's like
yes.
That ZZ Top beard. Excellent.
Yeah, he's 34.
Cool. So with her, she's going to obviously release her headlock because she's given him a hug. But at this point, she's going to kind of grab his beard, like how really small children do, and they're like, "Yes, we're going to play with this now." And she's going to start plaiting it, but she's going to use her little plaiting rhyme, which she learned because she has basically spent all her time with magpies, and she's going to be kind of pulling it in all directions. Sorry. 1 for story, 2 for toys, 3 for girls, 4 for boys, 5 for shinies, 6 for duck, 7, and then she turns around, still holding the beard and just kind of pausing forward, not like unpleasantly pulling, just sort of moving him forward. And then 7 skuzzles, that goes flat, and then grabs another skuzzle and puts it in her bag. Eat now. And then just goes to sleep. That's it. She's out.
Hanging onto the beard still.
Hanging onto the bed like a small child with a toy.
Marcus. Best not to wake her up.
This is the first night he's been sober in a long time.
It's like soberness.
Wasn't a good night to start, to be honest.
So Bob, you're laying there with Saoirse, a hand firmly wrapped in beard. You just lay there. Eventually, everyone else goes to bed. Heinz finally finishes scribbling in his notebook, and beds down, and you're left there, awake. What are you doing?
Praying.
You're praying. Okay. How forcefully are you praying? What are you praying for?
The sweet release of sleep. Or death. One of the two.
Oh. Do you want to try and get away?
He's scared. He's honestly scared.
Yeah.
So no.
Okay. I mean, you're just gonna lay there and pray for the sweet release of sleep and oblivion, or
yeah.
Okay. Cool. It's great. Yeah. So Roll me a d12.
Oh no. That's a 4.
That's fine. No, that's cool. Yeah, you lay there for 4 hours before you fall asleep. You know, it's decently it's decently after midnight before you manage to fall asleep. Which isn't terrible. Oh, yeah. But you'd really rather you weren't in that position. God. Well, things do run away with you lot, don't they? My God. So yes. Everyone give me a perception roll, actually.
Oh, that's a natural 12. So, yeah.
8.
I also had an 8.
Pinch my dice again and wish I hadn't.
You dice time.
4.
Are you shopping for dice in another tab again?
Yeah.
Okay then. So yeah, Bob, while you're laying there desperately praying for the sweet oblivion of sleep, and everyone else is snoring, singing to themselves, whatever, in their sleep, you hear the sounds of a commotion from the road. You're pretty sure, from where you're laying, that you can see lights. Like it's coming over a little ridge, so you're in a depression in the ground. But coming from the direction of the road, there is sound. You can see like light shining over it, kind of like when there's a car coming the other way over a hill. In sort of brief flashes, you see this light, and you can hear people shouting. It's far enough away that you can just hear people shouting just about. But it's a fair old distance away, and you're really tired, and you've been laying here for about like 3 hours and 50 minutes, and Saoirse's not released your beard in all that time. That she might have rolled over. So you're essentially spooning someone who's enormous, who's like got a fist wrapped in your facial hair. Your face is pressed into the shoulder blade of an enormous woman who probably hasn't. I don't know what Saoirse's hygiene regimen is, but she lives in a bush with a magpie. So, yeah. Yeah, you hear this when you're sort of floating on the edge of oblivion, and yeah. Well, what's your response to this?
Can I reach anything sharp?
Does Prophet Bob carry anything sharp?
Where did Saoirse put her knife?
It's still on her leg.
So you can probably reach that.
I will try and reach for her knife.
Okay. I mean, well, we're going to leave this entirely to the whim of Spanners then. Which side does Saoirse wear her knife?
On her right side.
Which side is she sleeping on?
She is sleeping on her left, but she is holding on to the beard with her left arm. So it's like she's wrapped it like this.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. She's doing the arm scarf. Yeah. So yeah, the knife is there. Oh, the cocking great big knife blade. Yeah, an Australian would probably call it a toothpick. Who knows? So yeah, it's right there. It's sitting there. It's mockingly close. What do you do?
I grab it and cut my beard off.
Is she going to notice him grabbing the knife?
But it still checks.
Yeah, you're post sneak, I suppose. Actually, no. I want Bob to do a strength check to pull this cocking enormous knife out of a sheath, like awkwardly, like probably with one arm.
That's a 13.
Yeah. I mean, it's a knife. It's not impossible. But yeah, you're essentially drawing a hand, like reverse grip, one-handed in the dark, around someone else's waist. So yeah, you are left laying there, holding a blade, the other side of someone. You can bring it around to sort of here. I want you to argue me a check for accurately cutting off your beard without wounding yourself terribly.
So, dexterity?
Yeah?
Or armed CC?
Whatever you want to use.
If only there was a praying stat.
I'm gonna do armed CC.
I mean, do remember you have 3 legendary points.
Yes, but I also have ranks in armed CC.
Yeah.
I'm highly trained to take my beard in the dark.
I'm gonna use a legendary point to re-roll that.
Your beard off.
Okay.
No,
What did you
just
roll
think
out
how
of...
awesome that could roll out if
Yeah.
you botch attempting to amputate your beard in the dark.
That was a botch.
Oh, joy. Okay, yeah, so you re-roll it.
That's a 6.
Yep. You try the first time, and you plant... you're moving slow enough that it doesn't like hurt anything, but you basically lay the blade like across Saoirse's ribs, and the point like jabs you in the top of the thigh. You're like, oh fuck no, and you kind of sort of readjust again. Maybe you just put it down and like turn your hand around. You're using something that's probably like 3 feet long. So I do in fact have the analog for that there, but I can't be asked to grab it again. And yeah, you manage to like clumsily slash off your beard. So we're saying it was a ZC top beard. So everyone roll me a d4.
3.
3.
3.
Or
Ooh. So yeah, you I'm sorry to say you cut off a full 17 glorious inches of beard. It may have been braided up to be shorter, or something, but yeah, you cut off 17 glorious inches of beard. You were probably at full wizard status, even if it was like tiny and pathetic and thin or something. So yeah, you're left with nothing, basically. Yeah, you're looking. Although you've done it with a knife, so you've probably got quite a bit on the sides here.
It's just got glorious mutton chops.
Yeah, you suddenly have like mutton chops with a rough stubble here. But yeah.
you'll make it work.
Yeah. You pull away, and yeah, you're free. You're free of Saoirse. You also have a very large, very heavy, very unwieldy knife.
I lay it on the ground beside her, or off to the side so she doesn't like roll onto it. And then I kind of run over to where I can sort of see the road so I can see what's happening over there.
Okay, now we're gonna need a sneak.
Sure. That's a crit.
Nice. Yeah. Are you grabbing a bag on the way, or are you just running?
I'm just running.
Okay, cool. Yeah, you leave Marcus and Squeaker and everything, and you run. As you go over the ridge, you see very similar to what Blossom saw the previous night. You see fire, and you see dark moving shapes in the distance. And these coming from the south. There's no gunfire this time, but there's definitely shouts. You can see briefly in the flashes of light the shapes of people running around, as well as larger shapes. The large shapes seem to be longer than they are tall. But yeah, that's and as you sort of stand there and watch, the shouting stops, the flashes of light sort of get, the periods of time between the flashes of light get longer and longer, and it seems like the people who are being attacked get further away.
I am going to wake up Heinz.
Okay. I wake up.
So, we're going to. You will definitely wake up, but Bob, you need to sneak back into the camp. More of an incidental sneak, but yeah.
Oh, probably not. That is a 4.
Okay, yeah. As you try and make your way back, like down the ridge back towards the camp, you can still see like the glow of the dying fire like through the bush. Like in the dark, it's pretty obvious once you get over this ridge, sort of where this thing is. But you still can't see the ground beneath you. And in time-honored fashion, you hit that patch of scat that Blossom stepped in earlier, and you slip into the stream. It only goes up to like your knees, but it's good and loud. Everyone back in the camp can hear this. What do you say as you slip in something foul-smelling and up to your knees in water?
Jesus, croak. Just out loud, just loud.
Jesus, croak! Splash. Okay, yeah. Everyone else, you have heard this. A man has screamed, Jesus, croak! There is a new burst of foul smell as someone else has stepped in the big patch of scat.
Well, it must have been serious. He doesn't blaspheme unless something really badly has gone wrong.
Yeah. So what do you all do?
I'm gonna kind of stand up and kind of look around to see what's happened, and then probably notice that there's like a lot of light that there wasn't before.
Well, the light isn't around anymore. The bursts of light have stopped.
Okay, that case,
it's dark outside the bush.
Okay, in that case, I probably wouldn't get up. I'll just be like, Bob, you alright?
Weren't you over with?
Bob's not there.
Yeah, that's why I just shouted out, because I heard him shout.
Yeah.
But I thought rather than get up and stagger around the darkness, I'd just shout and see if he responds.
I'm all wet.
But other than that, are you okay?
There's been another attack.
What do you mean?
Whatever attacked that last caravan attacked another one. Just saw it down the road.
Oh. Were there survivors?
I don't know. I'm not going all the way down there at night. Whatever's making that fire.
Are there any fires on at the moment?
No, the fire's gone.
Did the wagon get away? Or?
I don't think so.
So there might be more loot down there. What
But
time
I
of
saw
night? It's...
They're long, short beasties.
Do you mean horses?
Horses do not make fire. That I know.
Okay. Then I have no idea what they are. Are they men crawling?
So right, yeah. Is anyone else gonna ask what's going on? Sushi, you have woken up with 17 inches of beard in your fist. And no
she's
person.
Look at the beard. See her knife on the floor. Put it back into her pocket, where she keeps it, and go over to Bob and just kind of thrust the beard at her. Sorry.
Well, I can't do much with that now.
Okay, I'll give it to Cecil. And then kind of wraps it up and puts it in with other bits of hair in her bag. Possibly from other beards that have been cut off in desperation.
Oh, she has a Lenny bag.
A collection of beards. It's amazing.
Oh.
Each one of these beards that she has collected is like rolled up like a little nest. So she can give them to Cecil.
I have a beard nest.
Beard nest.
Perfect.
Love it.
So yes, you found Bob. Another attack down the road. Cecil has a new beard nest, and I think on that note we shall leave it there for tonight.
Because how do you top that?
Because how do you top that without running on till midnight? So yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Christ, beard nests. Yeah. I think that was probably one of the more successful times I've tried to introduce a play character in the second session without them just jumping off something and hurting someone. Crone. Injuring main characters.
Oh,
Yeah, we did have a beard amputation happen here.
That's nothing.
It was willing.
compared.
It was willing and self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Taking a main character down to -1 because you crit hit them, thinking they weren't actually an NPC.
Yeah. Yeah. There we are. So yeah. Oh Christ. So yes, I'm going to look up at my little pre-prepared script for the outro here because we're going to get that done quickly so everyone can go to sleep. So yeah, that was that. I was thirsty. I was the world and all its petty irritations. You can find me on Twitter at thirsty_BTP. Find me on bloodthirstpubs.co.uk. You can find me here on Mondays. And maybe doing things at other times, but I have no plans because I don't plan things. So, in no particular order, we shall run through our players, and we shall start with Tech.
Yes, I am Tech. You can find me probably on the Discord channel, which you can find links to on Thirsty's Twitter and things like that. And you can find me at bloodthirstpuppets.co.uk, where I hang out as well, and here on Mondays for the near future. Yeah, that's me.
Excellent. And I think next we shall go with Spanners.
No, I'm Spanners. That wasn't quite how I planned it, but never mind. You can find me on the Discord channel. You can find me on bloodthirstypuppets.co.uk. You can find me on Twitter at spanners_BTP, where I will currently spam you relentlessly about my new books.
Well, it's not like I have a new book, so yeah, you should definitely be spamming people about
Shameless
books.
plug.
I mean, Christ's sake. Books take effort, and, effort and time. You can't plug that. What can you plug?
Absolutely.
Exactly. So yeah, next, Lilth, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at PurpleBeatHolder. You can find me here on a Monday night. You can find me in the Discord sometimes. And you can sometimes find me on Kit's Twitch channel as and when that restarts.
Hopefully next weekend.
I miss Marietta.
Me too.
There we are. And last but by no means least, the glorious, the inebriated, the freshly denuded of beard. What did you think of that? Where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitch and Twitter at Kit Battlebeard. As Lilth said, you can find us doing D&D usually on Saturdays. Hopefully restarting with the next arc on Saturday, depending on how we go with our cast. If there's more than just 3 of us. But we'll see. I'm hoping to start with some other creepiness. We just finished Hags earlier this summer, and who knows what other abominations are going to be showing up. Yeah. So that's me. Otherwise, I'm here for the next little bit on Mondays. Yeah.
And we're glad to have you. So yeah, there we are. That was everyone. That was odd. I was not sure what I hoped to get from that, but it really wasn't one less beard in the world. So yeah. Christ. So yes, as always, if you watch this live with us and participated in the chat, thank you very much. That's wonderful, and we love you all. If you're watching this on YouTube and you didn't participate in the chat and you didn't catch us live, well, you can do it next time. That's fine. Also, it means that I've remembered to put this on YouTube as well. And if you don't watch this on YouTube or Twitch, I don't know how you're hearing this. So,
Magic.
Well done. But yeah, time at the bar. Pick up, folks. And cheerio. Oh, lovely. 3-day-old beer.
I was going to say, is that the beer you used to warm mug?
Yeah, to temper that tankard. Yeah. Lovely. It's settled nicely. It's got that hoppy tea sort of flavour.
Oh.
I don't think I'm drunk enough. I've let you all down.
That's fine. I was just drinking tea, so...
I finished my mead
Go for
about 25 minutes after I brought it yesterday. So.
It's
I
atrocious.
don't have any alcohol here. That's a nice Monday afternoon drink.
I suppose that Monday afternoon drink is not really mead.
Well, I mean,
What?
it's a Monday
Get
evening
away with
drink.
I had a Sunday afternoon mead.
Yeah, you all had Sunday afternoon meads.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Oh. There's my Monday evening meat.
I think most of you had Sunday morning meads.
Probably, yeah, it would have been.
See, I would
left
be
it about
okay with
12.
that.
ouch, yeah.
I just don't have any mead. I need to get some more mead.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
It's quite easy to make some if you have honey or access to honey.
Was it the morning? Or did we manage to wait until midday?
No, it must have been, because
No,
I think
it
we
was-
left about 12:30, didn't we? So it must have been starting drinking quite a bit earlier than that.
It
Yeah.
must have been about 10:30, yeah. Oops.
Because I pretty much went in, brought my bow, and then brought my mead like straight afterwards.
Yeah.
So it
And
must
see-
have been
Sort of half
must have been around about 11ish or like 11:15 or something like that.
When you're at fair, that doesn't matter.
Exactly.
That's sort of like,
It's medieval drinking. It doesn't matter what time of day it is.
that's not breakfast mead. Breakfast mead is like 8 in the morning.
I did have breakfast shortly after drinking my mead, though.
Actually, yeah, that's the point.
Brunch mead.
Exactly.
But it was
Right.
lumpier.
Yeah. Oh, God. It was the breakfast. And on that note, guys, thanks for playing. It's always great to have you guys. And I honestly don't know what I'm going to do when we actually have to start the campaign and Kit and Tech aren't here. But hey,
Use all this fun stuff.
yeah, I have to incorporate all this into in some sort of cohesive canon.
Well, hopefully it's
Possibly use it to shoot myself in the face.
interesting hooks and stuff. So
Yeah. There we are.
It's like
Good
someone
luck.
at some point is going to have to come and dig these like implants out of our faces so they can be used for some plot hook at some point. It's like the only two that are surviving are in your faces. Like, right, someone get the fork of surgery.
Oh.
What is this weird cross? Who is this weird god?
Yeah, that's the one.
The cult, yeah. You have to infiltrate the cult of Hesus and extract the implants of clear sight.
Or maybe what you have to do is you have to extract them. You can, if it's the cult of Hesus, you can only extract them by using frogs and kind of squeezing them so this tongue sticks out and it like sticks and then pulls them out.
I love the idea that you get some kind of like you can set like a screensaver on these things so that you can see little frogs like hopping around and like like augmented reality screensavers that like when you're idle like you start seeing frogs hopping around. It's like it's Jesus, he was right.
Yeah, so that's that.